てくれないか。
僕はルオルグ。ただのすっごく可愛い男の子ってわけじゃなくて S ランクパーティーネームレスのメンバーなんだよ。その反応気に入ってばやっぱりいい人だね。
My friends, if you've been on the channel for a long time, I'm always one that calls a spade a spade. I say like, hey, this is doo-doo, this is good, this is amazing. Sometimes I glaze, sometimes I'm overly negative, but the reality is I'm just here to share my opinion. And with Banished with the 𝐒𝐿 episode 6, man, maybe it's a mood thing. I just got off of work, I watched the show. Man, this was boring. This was boring, okay? Now, I don't have a real problem. Like, Alec and 𝐒𝐿𝐴 go out on a date, okay? And, of course, there's a misunderstanding between it where she's like, kissy, kissy, and he's like, oh, you know, because, of course, there is, you know. And it's not this show's fault. It's just, you know, 80% of anime. It's like any real love. Like, people are just like, the authors are like, they're like allergic to it. They got to get their take out when it comes to actual romance. So, you know, whatever, dude. But, you know, they go on a date that's purposeless. You know what I mean? It's just to show Alec the town and then to have one kumbaya moment of like, I'm a real adventurer now. And you're like, dude, stroke somebody else. Get out of here. So first off, didn't like any of that. Second thing is no 𝐿oki. I think 𝐿oki is the best character the show's introduced, and although he did exist a little bit, right? There was a situation that happened with 𝐸𝐸, and he got injured, and he threw away his weapon, and 𝐿oki was there for like you know, a quarter millisecond or whatever. But he wasn't like, you know, a major character like he was in the past couple episodes. So no 𝐿oki, the best, honestly, the best character the show has to offer. Disappointing. Then the show then it goes to some big setup for, I don't know, basically like, you know, adventure killers or something, and some S-class people got injured, and that girl named 𝐿𝐴 goes to heal somebody, and then Alec gets, I don't know, wooed by some young pretty man, some pretty boy in a library. And it was just ended up just being one setup to introduce this kid who's part of an S-rank party, and then to introduce this, you know, these assassins or these, you know, party killers or adventure killers or whatever. That's it though. Like, it wasn't a good time. It was boring. I think it was a 5 out of 10, maybe even like a 4. It was bad. I mean, to me, maybe I'm just being really harsh. Again, it's like sometimes it could be a mood thing, right? Like maybe I'm just not in the mood to watch the show. But frankly, you know, the reality is, even if I was in a shitty mood, right? Even if I was like, man, I'm having a bad day, a good episode of an anime has gotten me out of a bad day, or has gotten me out of a bad mood, or man, maybe I'm just too tired, or maybe I just don't feel it, maybe I'm just had a long day, maybe work sucked, maybe the kids did this, maybe the wife did that, maybe you know, a good episode of anime can get me out of that, and suddenly I'm in a good mood. I'm smiling, I laughed, I went, oh my god, or I felt good, or like, ah, oh, so sad. It could get me out of there. So this didn't. This actually made my day worse. That's all I got for you. And yeah, tear me up in the comments if you don't agree. Totally fine. I don't think the anime is unwatchable. I don't think that we need to drop it or anything. Again, I'm only talking about this specific episode, not the show as a whole. At the end of the day, this specific episode in number 6 is just part of the grander vision, the grander scheme of things. I think the show is still decent. I think it's very, very flawed. It has a lot of problems. I think it's probably just gonna end up being like a 6 out of 10 at the end of it. But, you know, hey, there are some shows that others would consider 6 out of 10s are some of my favorites, right? Spirit Chronicles, I'm looking at you. World's Finest Assassin, I'm looking at you. But I would much rather go rewatch any of those than having to rewatch episode 6 of this show ever again. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys in those thoughts. Peace out, my friends. One love. See y'all next weekend.